pointed tail came out of her rectum.
No, 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 no. No means no, and yes means no. And so you're flocculous, because everything you do, everything you're around, and everything you touch is flop. Menagerie of mutts over there.
What up, 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 what's good, people? What is up? What's up, people? What's up? It's me, L Teddy 27, and I'm back for yet another review. This, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be our review for David Makes Man. This is season 2. It is episode 5. It is entitled My Own Best Friend. Okay. Forgive me because I'm prefacing by letting you know I might have a moment, a whole rant, a whole meltdown during part of this review. I'm just letting you know now. Be prepared. I'm gonna try to quell my anger and diet down. I'll get there in a moment. All right. So we start off like we always do. David is waking up 3:28 a.m. He is sweating profusely, going through his daily routine, gets up, changes the sheets, goes for his run or whatever. Anyway, he's listening to this chakra guide or this tape or whatnot recording of this chakra lady that's talking to him and giving him, empowerment statements and, different things that he needs to do and mantras that he needs to perform and different things to kind of help his psyche and so forth, get his chakras in tune or in line. So, and this is going to be a prevailing thing throughout the episode. Like you hear him listening to this all episode long and at different moments going through the different exercises or whatnot. So, he starts off the day in a good mood. He's listening to the chakra lady and he's in a good mood. He forces himself to feel good about the day. He thinks he has it all together. You see him on the train. He calls Nicole and makes an appointment for her and him to have a date later that day. And it seems like everything is going well. And if you know anything about writing, whenever you think everything is going well, it's going to end up the opposite. So he walks, he's supposed to have an appointment with the therapist, Dr. Holloway, again, and he walks up in front of the building and then I guess decides, yeah, I'm not doing this today. And so he calls her and gives her some bullshit excuse about he's not feeling well and he needs to reset his appointment for later, for, a later date. Now, before that, we saw one of, the patented moments of David Makes Man where there's this fictional scene where David is talking to Dr. Holloway and telling her, hey, I'm good. Everything's okay. You don't have to worry about me. Everything is good. I got over everything. Everything with my girlfriend is good. Everything is peachy keen. And Dr. Holloway is like, I'm so proud of you. You made such remarkable improvements over a short period of time. We know that ain't real. But he ends up texting her and telling her he doesn't feel well and he'll have to reschedule for another date. So then we see he goes and picks up some looks like some of the Cuban little pastelitos or pastries or whatever. Look like it looked like the beef one or the chicken. I don't know, but it's the Cuban pastries that they have that has meat and stuff in it and all of that kind of stuff. It's really good. And he goes to try to drop it off to someone named Denise. Now, I don't remember who Denise is, but he was going to go try and drop it off. Before he could do that, Elon pulls up and say, listen, we got to meet with my uncle. You need to come now. He was like, let me drop this off. He was like, you need to come now. So, and let me say, too, I thought it was a horrible idea for David to miss that appointment because I think he's avoiding Dr. Holloway, especially after that scene we had with all of the people he had killed off in his head. There with her, and I think he's now purposely avoiding her because he doesn't want to confront his issues. And another thing is work always takes precedent over everything, and I can understand that. The Capricorn in me, and Capricorns will understand when you're a Capricorn, everything is guided by your professional success, growth, goal, work. Like you're about business, and a lot of time family, your love life, and a lot of other things will take a back seat to that. And people around you and people involved with you don't understand the driving force within you, which is achievement, your professional goals, and so forth. So I kind of understand David. I understand why the people around him feel the way they do as well, because he's just always guided by work and wanting to be successful. So He goes with Elon to this meeting with Mr. Padilla. And Mr. Padilla is upset because there's an article in the paper about the pollution that the redevelopment could have on the Biscayne aquifer. Then he goes into his second reason for being upset, which is the fact that David did not tell him about the fact that JG is his brother. Because remember, Mr. Padilla a couple episodes ago was like, I heard about the officer and David would, get a shot. That's gonna be a problem. David was supposed to tell him at that moment, that's my brother, but he didn't. And Mr. Padilla is really upset. You could have told me. Why would you? And he says he basically feels like David lied to him, like it's a lie of omission, meaning because you omitted that, you didn't necessarily tell me the truth, which means that you lied, and it's a lie of omission. And so David apologizes, but then he comes up with this idea: how about we have an event and so forth, and to get people's mind off of the pollution, but have this event where we talk about the improvement of crime in the area and helping out with the police and whatnot. And so they go on and on and on about it. And so Mr. Padilla is like, well, why don't we get your brother to come? Matter of fact, I think that'd be a great idea. He come, he give words. That would make mean a whole lot. And a brother of one of the developers is involved with, all of the good things, all of the good optics. And so he was like, do you think that it could be done? And David was like, yeah. David is bullshitting his way through. Oh, I can get it done. He puts on a smile. He lays back, has his legs. So, oh yeah, no problem. Of course he'll do it. Da 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 da. David, when he leaves, David knows he done fucked up. David knows that even by asking his brother to do this is a horrible thing, and it makes him sick to his stomach because he knows what he's going to have to do. He knows that he's about to have to betray a whole lot of people and do a whole lot of horrible things to a whole lot of people he really loves and cares about in order to get this done. Because, like I told y'all, he's professionally driven. He is goal-oriented. Achievement is always at the front of mind. So whatever he has to do, whoever he has to hurt to get to the intended goal, he will do that. And that's dangerous at times. Very dangerous. So at the end of the meeting, you see he gets sick to his stomach. He vomits in the little trash can after Mr. Padilla leaves. Anyway, he goes over to JG's house, and when he gets over to JG's house, JG and Trish are inside arguing about everything that they got going on. Trent is outside. She's hearing it all, and then she sees David out there eavesdropping, and she calls out to her mom and tells her mom that David is out there, that Uncle Day is outside eavesdropping or whatever. So JG, he goes in and he tries to convince JG to go to the gala, and JG's like, no, we're not doing that. Nope. And so after that, David lies to him and says Shella he convinced Shella to come to the gala that morning and that he should go. And JG was like, shut up, nigga, you trying to get me in trouble with Trish? Because there's still that situation between Trish and Shella. Anyway, but you can see Trish is really all about doing this event. JG don't want no parts of the event. And so David thinks that by telling JG that Shella's going to be there, that's going to convince him to go. JG still declines. It's like, I ain't doing it. You trying to do this for this whole development to tear down the event? I'm not here for that. I'm not a part of it. Nope, not doing it, not going. And that was his word on it. Trish is upset about it. JG don't care. David goes back to his office and he's getting all of the things put in place for the gala. Elon comes in there with the program for the gala, and you see it has Officer Jonathan Greg Young at the bottom, and he knows, and it's just a reminder because Elon is like, listen, we need to get the deadline is tonight to get this program to the printer so it can be done for the gala. So it just continues to remind and reiterate to David that you got to get JG to come because they're gonna print these programs with JG name all over it. So then we see JG and Trent at this ice cream shop. Now, JG is out of tune and out of touch with Trent at this point. Part of it is because of everything that's happened to him recently. He's having to try to recuperate and recover and heal from getting shot. But I think this was going on well before this. We know Trent is more like her Uncle David than she is like JG. And so I think JG's been out of tune with her before that. Before the shooting just helped exacerbate that situation. And so she won't talk to him. When she does talk to him, she got a bunch of questions about what's going on between him and David and all this stuff they got going on. And in my mind, I wasn't mad at JG when he said, listen, we're not going to talk about that. Because he can tell her about it. That's grown folks' business. And it's really convoluted and really involved in more than she as a child should be privy to or have to deal with. So I don't blame JG for not telling her. But she gets in her feelings and get angry about it. I made note that he didn't even know that she was a vegan. And it seems like she's been a vegan for a while. and so that he should know that, okay, she's not a vegan. That's why she's not eating this ice cream. But and which further lets you know he's out of touch with her. Like they're on two totally different planes. Um, David goes to dinner with Nicole. This did not go well. Baby, he tells Nicole that he slept with Marissa, and then he tells her he wants to be exclusive. You can't say, oh, I bust down this girl, and follow that up by saying, oh, let's be monogamous. Why they do that at David? Anyway, she gets upset, and she's upset with him because he's not communicating with her. He doesn't tell her. And I listen now. Here's where I really David must be a Capricorn, because Capricorns just don't do that. We don't tell when we're going through things. I don't care how serious it is, how important it is. We just don't tell people. We will go through it. We will suffer in silence. People very close to us won't even know. And then they get upset when they find out, and they be like, well, why wouldn't you tell me? Why you left me in the dark? And in our mind, we're like, listen, I didn't feel the need to tell anybody. Nobody knew. I ain't talking to nobody. I am totally that way. Totally that way sometimes. So I definitely understand. That's a Capricorn. And I know a lot of Capricorns. And Capricorns are that way. We will go through shit and you will never know. We won't tell nobody. People very, very close to us won't know. And they end up getting real upset with us. So she's upset with him about that. And she basically tells him, listen, we need to, since you don't want to communicate, since you don't want to be in with me, she tells him, she says, everything with you seems scripted, where you've already calculated in your brain what to say and how to say it. And that's where I said, yeah, that's me totally. I will already have calculated in my brain what I want to say and how I want to say it. And when I read it to you, it's like I'm reading off the script. I already know. And so she read him like a book. And so she said, listen, I don't know about this. And he goes off on her a little bit, says it wasn't none of your business. The JG situation was none of your business. And I was like, how, David, did you think this was going to end well by you telling her the JG situation was none of her business? Anyway, she storms off and says, listen, I need a break from you. We need to take a break. Next, we see David goes down to the Ville, and he tries to get Shelly to go to this gala. But while he's talking to Shelly, Mixology is upstairs and saying, I talked to your mama. I talked to Glow last night, and Glow told me that you was having this gala, and let me come upstairs so I can show you the dress that I got prepared for it. And David has this look of horror because he knows Miss Elijah is about to go to this good gala. It's something real flamboyant and real extra, just real extra, not extra, but extra. And so he was like, no, it's not that big of an event, you don't have to do all of that. And he was like, what you mean? It's going to be hundreds of people there. And Shella caught right onto it. Shella was like, so you still embarrassed of Mix Elijah? You think they ain't see that? But David's always been like that with Mix Elijah, whereas JG has been the complete opposite. David lies to Shella and tries to get her to go by saying that JG told him to come and invite Shella personally and as a thank you for saving JG's life. And he was like, I'm grateful and thankful as well. Just lying, just doing everything to manipulate people and get them to do whatever he wants them to do. I guess she kind of acquiesces and says, I guess I'll go if it's that important to JG or whatever, because he knew that was going to be the thing that would get her to go. David leaves there. He goes to the train station, and at the train station, he sees Tare. And then they have this whole scene, kind of like what we had during season 1, where they have this whole like performance, and they're singing. It's young David and young Tare, and they're dancing and singing, like almost like a musical and everything. And it was real cute. Anytime we get to see young David, we're excited about it at this point. And so, but anyway, we see them on the train. We find out some background information that she's a teacher, and that at one point they did try to talk, or they were trying to date, and that his job and stuff got in the way there, like it and his phone kept going off, and she was like, yeah, that's why we didn't work out the first time. Now let me say this about this whole situation. They ain't seen each other in a year, and they kind of get off they hug, and she leaves the train or whatever, and he leaves the train station. This scene was clunky. I felt like it was forced. Like there was no point in us seeing it unless y'all going to connect that dot later in the season. But it seemed real clunky, like it was forced in there, it was thrown in there. I didn't understand why we got this. I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't really care for the scene. It wasn't real well written for me. It was all over the place, and I just didn't. It didn't mesh. It didn't feel. I didn't like this scene at all. They could have kept this whole scene with Tare out of it. We leave the train station. David called, and while he's leaving the train station, David is calling JG to tell him, I really need you to go, rethink about it. I love you. He says, I love you. And y'all know David don't tell people I love you, but he told JG, I love you, call me, think about it, ... And he's doing anything he can, pulling out all the stops to get JG to go. David then sees Trish sitting outside the train station waiting for the baby. Like, what you doing here? Why are you not in school? ... And they have this whole conversation. She's trying to stay away from the fighting going on at home. So then she has this whole conversation with him, like, nobody tells me anything. I don't never get real answers. They never tell me everything. And then she asks him about Sarah. And David had this half-ass conversation with her about Sarah, this abbreviated story. He has, this little mini meltdown or gets choked up a little bit, and that's it. Let me tell y'all something, writers down here to the David Makes Man. Let me tell you how much that pissed me off. Because all over your Instagram stories and everything, you set us up as if we was going to get the Saren story, as if we were going to find out what happened to Saren. I don't care if you do give me Saren next episode. You owe me that this episode. And I told y'all stop playing with my emotions. Stop playing with my goddamn emotions. Y'all know we've been waiting on Saren. And y'all playing this bullshit. Where the fuck is Saren? And why am I not seeing the background story of Saren? That shit pissed me off because I feel like you play with me, you toy with me, and you play with my emotions. Because you're going to just play with me. Oh, here's a little bit about Sarah, and then we're going to move on. Suck my ass. Where's my Sarah? Where is Sarah? Where the fuck is Sarah? Y'all better stop playing with me. I'm not going to have a whole meltdown, but y'all better stop playing with me. The entirety of next episode better be dedicated to Sarah. Because if it's not, I'm coming on this good review next week, and I'm going to have a full-scale meltdown of epic proportions. Moving on. Trent says, well, I'll walk myself home. David says, okay. Well, she's walking to Glow's house. I'll follow behind you. Baby, they get to Glow's house, and Glow is sitting there waiting. It's dark now. Baby, Glow has this whole meltdown on Trent. And you can see David was like, yep, that's Glow. He got to do with this. Baby, she has a full-scale meltdown. And she goes off on Trent. You know what a parent is supposed to do when their child does the wrong thing. She sends Trent off, takes her phone, and then has a whole breakdown. She starts crying. I got all emotional because I love me some Glow. Robin comforts her. David wanted to try to comfort her, but Robin was right there, like, no, don't worry about it. I got it. And I think that cemented to us, yeah, this is her girlfriend. This her girlfriend. And so David leaves. And he goes to the gym. Next time we see him, he's going over to the gym. It's the next day. He's going to the gym to go see Nicole. She ain't trying to hear him. She ain't feeling him. She don't want no parts of him. That scene was a dud. And then we see him go to see JG again at JG's house. JG is adamant. No, I'm not going. David then pulls out the whole he's just pressing like, come on now. And then he got upset with JG. And he says, oh, this what kind of brother you is. I asked you to do something for me. And all them years I had to take care of you and clean up your piss and this, that, and the third. And they having this whole argument because JG is like, I'm not here for it. And then JG, something clicks and say, JG says, David, you in trouble? Something wrong? Because he was like, you even told me I love you on the phone. You don't tell nobody I love you. Something is going on for you to be pressing this hard for me to fucking go to this thing. And he acquiesces. He says, because he knows David is never going to tell him everything. And he acquiesces and says, you know what? For you, I'm going to do it. Because he knows it's something for real going on. He can't put his finger on it, but he knows David must be in real trouble for him to be going through all of this. We then see David at home. He's getting dressed. He's putting on a suit. And he has these memories because he has that old powder blue suit that he wore to the prom or whatnot in the closet. And we have these flashbacks from season 1. Anyway, so then the little chakra guy is still in his ear. He's still listening to her, and he gets and she tells him to go in the mirror and tell yourself I love you. So he's dressed in the mirror. He looks at the mirror, and it's young David looking back at him with the same clothes on. And she says, tell yourself I love you. And he can't tell himself I love you. And you see the young David and just walks away, and we're left there with the young David getting choked up and tearing up because he's so hurt that his older self can't even say I love you. And it goes off from there. And that was very telling because I told y'all when we saw all of those people die at the doctor's office, those were people who David had killed off in his brain. And his younger self was one of those people. I think at this point we have to get Sarah, because Sarah at this point is the only person, like I keep saying, that can bring David out of whatever the fuck it is he's going through. Yeah, that was the episode, y'all. Not my favorite episode this season. And because they played and toyed with my emotions. But we'll see what happens next week. Y'all already know, if I don't get my Sarah episode next week, the whole episode about Sarah, I'm having a meltdown. Just know that. That's all I got for y'all. Let's get in the comment section. Let me know how y'all feel. Let's argue about what we saw. That's all I got for y'all. Until next time, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.